So we will begin lying on our backs, feet as wide as the mat, arms down by your side, palms faced up. And then just let your knees press together. We can rest the hands on the belly, just let your elbows rest on the floor. Get yourselves comfortable into that shape. Have your block nearby. We're going to gradually lift the hips as we move through the class. Right, so if you've just joined us, have a block handy, and we begin with lying down on our backs, feet as wide as the mat, knees together, and you can just rest your hands on your belly. We'll let the eyes close, let your face relax, especially the jaw. So that might mean your mouth might open slightly. And then let the whole back of your body rest into the mat. So any muscles that you're holding on to, you can try and let go of and almost make yourself heavier into the floor. Let's notice how you're breathing at the moment and continue to breathe in that way. Directing all your focus and your awareness onto how you're breathing right now. You might feel the slight rise of the belly as you breathe in, and then that slight fall as you breathe out. And then just try to elongate the breath. Filling up the belly a little bit more with the breath in, and emptying a little bit even more with the breath out. Perhaps the most important part of this rhythm is the pauses in between the breaths. So when you get to the top of the inhale, there should be that natural pause. And as you get to the bottom of the exhale, again, just that natural pause before you take the inhale again. And just relax into that. See if you can make that happen as naturally, as organically as you can. Keep the breath flowing in that way, and just move your left hand onto your chest. So that the next time you breathe in, not only do you expand into the hand by your belly, but also see if you can expand into the hand by your chest. And still observing the pauses in between the breaths. The breath naturally growing longer and deeper. And hopefully with that, your awareness turning inwards. Take one more breath like that. And when you get to your next exhale, you can release the hands, trying to continue to breathe in that way and step your feet towards each other. You're going to lift the hips up and just place the block on its flat edge underneath your sacrum. So right on the lower part of your spine. So, well, the sacrum, so it's the flat part of the lower back. So not so much on your spine. And you can just let the feet rest on the mat, the knees in line with the hips. You can rest your hands wherever feels good. And just notice now that little lift in the hips. Can you relax your jaw again? Can you relax the spine? Just notice the space between the block and the spine. Now you're holding on to your hamstrings or your quads or your glutes. Can you let them go? Tapping back into that rhythm that you created earlier. Full breath in, little pause, natural pause at the top of the inhale. Long breath out and that natural pause at the bottom of the exhale. All your awareness drawing within, the breath and your body as the anchors. We spend plenty of time throughout our day in the external atmosphere and that external experience. So since you've brought yourself along to this session, really make the most of it. See if you can let go of the external and really focus on your internal. Okay, whether that be the breath, the body, the shapes that we create. I'm going to give you the option to turn the block up onto its higher edge. So you're welcome to stay with it low like this, or you can push down to your feet, lift the hips up and just turn the block onto its higher edge. Maybe you might like to try it, and if you get there and it doesn't feel comfortable, then you can always turn the block back down. Again, you can rest your hands down by your side and just imagine your whole body surrendering into the block. Surrendering downwards into the mat. Your jaw relaxing, your hamstrings, your glutes relaxing, and the block just supporting the spine in this shape. See if you can adjust your shoulder blades slightly so the hands draw towards the feet a little bit more and the shoulder blades draw down towards the block a little bit more. Correcting any kind of issues with your posture, helping to correct those issues. Just feeling the shoulder blades flat on the floor, and that space between the block and the upper back. And again, back into that full breaths in, acknowledging and accepting the pause at the top of the breath in. And long, slow breath out, really encouraging your nervous system to relax. Encouraging you to let go. So wherever you are, bring your right knee into your chest. So you might have the block on its lower edge. You might not have a block at all. That's fine if you want to take it away. But just bring the right thigh into your chest and try and hold it there without using any muscles. Breath in, let the body relax. And long breath out. Yeah, try and feel the weight of the right leg pressing into the right hip. And the back of the body resting on the block. And the upper back on the floor. Don't forget, you can do this without the block. So you can bring your right ankle onto the top of the right thigh and just let the right knee open there. Again, try not to use any muscles. So for me to be able to let go of my muscles here, I need to walk my left foot more to the center of the mat. And then I can kind of balance it out a little bit easier. Try and let the right leg relax. Feel the space in the right hip. Not forcing, you're just letting gravity do the work. Breathing in. And breathing in. So you'll bring the right knee back into your chest and now extend the right leg flat to the floor and let your right toes turn outwards towards the side. It's almost like your right hip is melting outwards towards the side. Again, if it gets too intense with the block on this high edge, flip it down one level. Maybe just do this on the floor. Take one more breath here. Feel the whole right side melt open. Right hip, right leg, right foot. Then you can bring your right knee back up and place that right foot back down onto the mat. And then bring the left knee into your chest. Okay, make any adjustments you need to make. Just feel the weight of that left leg pressing into the left hip. Once you get there, focusing on the breathing. How does this shape change the pause, especially the pause at the top of the inhale? Can you relax all the muscles in the left leg? Relax the right leg. You can bring your left ankle onto the top of your right thigh. And again, if it helped you on the other side, walk your right foot into the center a bit and then try and let go of all the muscles. Just allow gravity to stretch and open up that left hip. Breathing in, you've got that lovely pause. Breathing out, maybe your breath is starting to feel a little bit like a roller coaster right now. Let's bring in the right knee, that left knee back in. We'll extend the left leg all the way out to the top of the mat. Let the left toes fall out to the side and try and relax that left leg completely. So I just like that subtle feeling of the left hip pressing outwards. That psoas muscle attached to your lumbar spine and then to the front of the hip gets that lovely stretch there. And of course, if at any time the block becomes uncomfortable, lower it down one step or maybe take it away. So then bringing the left knee back in and pressing the left foot flat down onto the mat. Push down through both feet to lift the hips up. Taking the block away, start to lower the spine down. Yeah, so if you're already without the block, we're joining you now. And then bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees open and take your arms up and over your head. So really enjoy this moment now. Fill it with the breath. It's a long breath in, lovely pause at the top. Long breath out, lovely pause at the bottom. Imagine filling up the belly, the rib cage, the chest, maybe even up into your head, if you've got that kind of imagination. As you exhale, just feeling that release and surrender into the mat. No muscles working here. Carefully bring your knees back up to the center and then draw your knees into your chest. Now wrap your arms over the tops of the shins. So maybe being on the block there has created a little bit of tension. So this is a good moment just to rock from side to side. Try and press the sacrum into the mat. Getting that nice massage. And then bringing your hands onto your knees, just bringing in a bit of movement. The hands are over the tops of the knees, push the knees away. Glue your legs together and take the legs in a circle. So keeping those knees together at the moment. Just enjoying this movement. We'll take the circle the other way. That's it. And then my favorite, as you know, taking the knees to the side. So opposite sides, and then bring the knees back into the center, towards the chest and away again. Enjoying that feeling within each hip. Enjoying the heat that you're creating. Maybe the movement feels a little bit like the rhythm of your breath. So like a little roller coaster ride within the hips. Opening the knees the other way, taking that circle in the other direction. And seeing where there's weakness and where there's strength. The last time, open the knees to the side, have your hands inside your knees and just use the weight of the hands to keep your feet off the floor, but open the knees as wide as they'll go. I know it can be a little bit challenging to let go of all the muscles here, but see if you can work on letting go as many of them as you can. You could always adjust and change it to make it comfortable. The main thing is that the knees are open, we're getting that stretch through the inner thighs, the flattening of the back. And slow, steady rhythm with your breathing. Take one more breath. You can take your hands outside of your legs now, and then bring the knees back into the center. Catch hold of your block. We're going to take the knees to the right side, so let both knees fall, and then slide the block in between the legs. You can have your right hand resting on the left leg, and take your left arm out to the side. Now squeeze your knees closer towards the right shoulder. Yeah. If this is too intense, place the block on the outside of the right leg, so in between the floor and your leg. If it feels good though, and you want to go a little bit deeper, start to press your left knee into the block. Yeah, try not to lift the right knee, but squeeze the left knee into the block without using your right hand. And then think about pressing your left shoulder blade down into the mat. Breathe in, feel the belly expand and the pause at the top of the inhale. You're going to breathe out and try and press that left knee into the block a little bit more. Notice if it changes it. You can keep the block there and bring the knees back into the center. Use that left arm to help you push into, so you can use muscles to help you get there, not your spine. And then let both knees fall to the other side. Again, if it's too deep, place the block outside of the left leg, so in between the floor and your left leg. Have your right arm out by the side, and if you want more, keep the gaze straight up, but press down, left knee into the block. And try not to lift the right knee up. Once you get into shape, into position, take that big breath in, expanding in this twist. As you breathe out, press the right knee into the block as much as you can. Keeping the block there, if that suits, push into your right hand and your left arm to help you bring the knees back to the center. And now just let them fall from side to side. And enjoy the massage on your back. Enjoy the strengthening in your core. Enjoy internalizing this, so really letting your awareness fall wherever you're feeling the sensations. Good, so a few more times. Lovely, last time. Excellent, guys. Take the block in between your ankles now and lift the legs up to the sky, and you can take your arms up and over your head. Okay. Just take a moment holding onto the block. If you want a little bit more, really press the ankles into the block and feel the inner thighs start to get a little bit stronger, or a little bit of fire going on there in the inner thighs. Otherwise, you're just there holding the block, letting all the energy flow down your legs. And keep hold of the block as you start to create circles with the feet up in the sky. And I would love if you could drop into the lower back here. Drop into how that feels. As you move the feet in the circle and as you move through the lower back, is there places where it feels a bit tender? And can this massage help to ease that out? And then take the circle the other way. If you need to move the block, you can. Enjoy that lovely massage on the back. Good, guys. And then we can bend the knees, catch hold of the block. Just pop the block to one side and take a happy baby, holding onto the outer edges of the feet. Squeeze the thighs down now. Yeah. If it's too much for your feet, take the hands behind the thighs. Long breath in. Pause at the top of the inhale and then a long breath out. Press the sacrum down. Is it possible to relax your muscles here in this shape? Because you've got the hands holding onto the feet or behind the legs. Does that enable you to relax into the shape? To see where your body goes to without the restriction of the muscles. Take one more breath, hands on the feet or behind your legs. And then release the legs. Good. Take the feet back up to the sky and just draw a few circles with the ankles. Let's do a circle in the other way, pointing and flexing as well. You can take your arms up to the sky and do the same thing with your wrists. So, circling the wrists, flexing and flexing and inverting the wrists. Give the legs a nice big shake. Good, and you can either roll up to seated and come into child's pose or roll onto your side and then make your way up to seated and into your child's pose. You've been lying down for a while, so take your time. Have your big toes touching, knees open wide, and then relax the arms all the way out in front. Once your forehead hits the floor, slot right back into that nice, slow, steady breath. Especially the pause at the top of the inhale, just finding a little bit of peace there. And then at the bottom of the exhale, that pause, just seeing if you can relax into the shape. And what do you feel in your legs and your feet? I still feel the sensation of moving, rotating the ankles. I can still feel that in my shins. What can you feel in your body in this shape? And the work that we've done on the hips, does that feel a little bit easier here? We are going to go into a twist. So if you just stand up, push down into that left hand, lift yourself up, and then take your right arm underneath your body to the left side. For this one, you could use a block to rest your head on if it feels a little bit too deep. If it feels all right, though, to let your head rest on the floor, you do get a slight stretch through the neck as well. Push into the back of your right arm as you try and look underneath your left arm. And then take your left arm around your back. See if the fingers can snuggle around the right thigh as you open up that left shoulder. Long breath in. How does the pause feel here at the top of the inhale? Long breath out. Good, release and bring your left hand back in. Lift yourself back up and we just change sides. So left arm underneath your body to the right side. Again, you can use your block as a pillow. If you're able to, though, you can let your head rest on the floor. Right fingers to the top of the mat. Yes. Pushing into the back of your left arm. And if you're feeling tension somewhere, can you relax? Can you relax that area? Surrender into this little twist. You can take your right arm up to the sky and then thread it around the left thigh or towards that area. And the more you push down through your left arm, you can enjoy the twist, opening up that right shoulder. And release, bringing the right hand back in, picking yourself right back up, and now bring your knees together. So I know this child's pose, this version can be a little bit challenging. See what you can do with it. Just relax over your thighs. Maybe you come onto your forearms, or you can take your arms all the way out in front. You could use a block to rest your head on if the floor is too far away. Try and make this version work for you. Now, if it's too much on knees, you can lift your hips a little bit. But as you breathe in, at the pause at the top, how does it feel around your back? And as you breathe out, how does it feel to let gravity help you get into the hips, the legs, the feet, the back? From here, coming back, walking the hands back up, and we'll come onto all fours and into some cat-cows, letting the belly sink, lift the head, chest up. And with the breath out, round into the back, chin to chest. Okay, and I want you to go in your own time. Just keep going through your cat-cows. Using the breath, exhaling to round, inhaling to let the belly sink. So you can slow it down, you could speed it up according to how you're breathing. Maybe you even pause and you hold it. Exaggerating the pause if you like. The pause in between the breaths. A few more times, finding your own rhythm, your own flow. Last time. Okay, stay with the belly sunk and the chest lifting, and then slide your right arm underneath your body to the left side. You can have the block on your head again, but I think that will maybe cause a little bit too much pressure on the neck, but see if that helps. If you need to, and left hand out to the top of the mat. Let me try it. Yeah, so the block can provide a little bit of support as long as you don't push down too much through the head. Otherwise, think about your right hip drawing back towards the back of the mat as you try and look underneath the left arm. You can slide your left leg back and just press the toes into the floor. If you really root down through your left fingertips, then you get really stable. There's an option to take your left arm around the back and then try and curl that left shoulder open. Use your right hand to try and hook your right hip back. Keep the left leg extended and then bring your left hand down by your face. Push down through that left hand and come up so the right hand comes underneath your right shoulder. You're going to lift your left leg up to the sky, towards the sky, to have the leg parallel towards the floor. And then you can bend the knee, bring the knee into the chest, and then create a nice big circle with the knee. Now see how that leg moves within the hip space now. Hopefully there's not too many clunks and clicks. And then take the circle the other way. That's okay, Antonella, go for it. All right, so now bring your left knee to your left wrist, left foot towards the right wrist, and slide that back leg away. Lovely, guys, and then just fall forwards, relax into your pigeon. You might need to pop a little block underneath your left hip if that helps you get into the shape a little bit easier and a little bit more alignment. But if you feel good, just relax. Let gravity do its job here. If your mind has wandered, bring it back to the breath. Good. Walking the hands back underneath you. Tucking the toes. And let's take a downward facing dog. Left leg goes back. And it can be a moving down dog. So you're just pressing your heels down one by one, giving the hips a nice little shake and noticing how that left leg feels. Okay, when you're ready, lower the knees back down into the mat. And we're going to thread the left arm underneath you towards the right side. That's it. Can you push your left hip back in space? Can you surrender? That's it. Do whatever you need to do to find that space there. Lovely. Breathing in. You can have the block underneath your head as long as you don't put too much weight into it. Breathing out. Enjoy the roller coaster ride of your breath. You can tuck under the right toes and then slide the right leg back. Use those toes like a support there. Squeezing that right heel towards the floor. And then right arm up to the sky. You can let the right hand fall behind the back if it suits you, unless it takes you too much off balance. You're trying to squeeze that left hip back. Breathing in. And breathing out. Good. When you're ready, you can bring your right hand by your face. Press the palm flat onto the floor. And then bring yourself up. So left hand goes underneath left shoulder now. And then we'll start to lift the right leg up. Flex through that right foot. Core nice and strong. And you're going to bend the right knee, bring the knee into the chest, and then create circles, or more than anything, just exploring what you've already opened up. I actually have no clicking or clunking, which is unusual. And then take the circle the other way. And now we can bring the right knee to the right wrist, right foot towards the left wrist, the glorious pigeon. Walk the hands out in front and surrender, relax. So approach it in a bit more of a yin fashion. Normally I would be encouraging you to add weight into that left leg, press down into the outer right hip, but take more of a yin attitude. Relax all the muscles, get into the joints. Okay, taking your time, make your way back up. Tucking the back toes under, come back into downward dog, just for a moment. Right leg back, and then again, paddle through the feet. Make it a moving dog. Just nice and easy, walk your hands back towards your feet. So you might need to take your hands off the floor at some point and bring them to the shins. You can push your hands into the shins, lift the head and chest up, and make sure your knees are nice and bent. Lower the tummy, the chest, the head over the legs. Okay, now this might be enough for you here. Otherwise, you could take your arms around your legs, hug onto them. And then you can work on pushing weight into the toes and relaxing the head, eventually straightening the legs. Okay, but we're going to be here for a few breaths. So you adjust it to suit you. If this is too much with the arms around the head, you could hold on to opposite elbows. You can also support yourself, maybe forearms on the thighs. Choose where you want to go, but try and get a hamstring stretch. Nice big breath in. And long breath out, surrender. And of course, you've got all the blood pooling into your head. Boosting your brain. Wherever you are, release your hands. And then bend your knees. Take your hands to the floor. Get a little bit into the ankles, just rocking forwards and back. Yeah, keep the weight forwards in the hands so you don't go for a ride all the way back. Well done, guys. And the last little thing I would love to do today, we're going to sit down onto your bum, however you can get there. And maybe you need to turn on your mat, but we're going to go for a wide leg forward fold. So flex your feet, draw your toes upwards. Get as comfortable as you can. Push down through the fingertips, lift up nice and tall. And then exhale, maybe you walk your hands forwards and just see how that feels at that point. You could come down onto your forearms. Yeah, try and keep the toes pointing upwards and knees pointing upwards. Maybe you'll take yourself all the way forwards, chin to the floor. Yeah, see where you're at today. Once you get into the shape, nice, Joan, keep at it. You can always sit your hips on a block or a pillow just to give you a bit more space if that helps. Yeah. But again, get lost in that roller coaster ride of the breath. Notice where you are now, and let's see where you are in a few more breaths. That's it. If you want to add a bit more strength, I mean, I don't like to do it, so you can lift your arms up to the sky and then just hinge forwards to a 45-degree angle, but it just does not work for me at all, that one. So there's an option there for you to try. I'm not strong enough. Or maybe too flexible, I don't know. One more breath. Do any adjustments, any extra little things you like? Good, and then carefully walk your way back in. Awesome, guys. Good. From here, take your hands behind you. Bring your heels in together. That's it. Take your feet as wide as the mat. And then windscreen wiper the legs. Good. Making our way back to home base where we started. So guys, maybe move yourself forwards at the top of the mat. And we're going to pop the block in the other side of the spine now. So by the shoulder blades. Yeah. So this can be a block or a pillow. Get yourself comfy with the feet as wide as the mat, the knees pressing together. And you want the block supporting the shoulder blades. You can have your arms down by the side, that might be enough for you, or you can lift your arms up and over your head. That's it, wherever you are, just let gravity help you correct any postural things. So if you're on your laptop a lot, take this moment to reshape and remold your upper back. Eyes closed, jaw relaxed. Okay, let's breathe all together. So take a long breath in through the nose, fill yourself up. And then open your mouth and exhale, let it go. Breathe in for 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Just hold your breath for 2, 1. This time, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Stick with which version felt good for you. So 4, 5, or 6. 2 more rounds in your own time. Yeah, maybe 6 was a little bit too much. Maybe 4, not quite enough. Find the rhythm that you can cope with, that you can glide through easily. If your arms above the head gets uncomfortable at any time, let it go. If the block is uncomfortable, let it go. But one more round here in this shape. You're welcome to continue practicing the breath or just following the breath in this shape. If you need to get moving, on your next exhale, start to roll over onto the right-hand side. Take a little moment in fetal position. And keeping your eyes closed, come all the way up to seated to face the front. You'll sit in any shape that feels right for you today. Bring the hands to the heart center, thumbs into your chest bone. Nice big breath in through the nose. Force the exhale out. Really empty all the air out. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. Have a lovely rest of the day. Let me know if you need anything. I am here.